Welcome to Gail's Garden, Herbs and More. I keep hearing this little thing. I keep hearing about something. And I keep saying, no, that's just superstition. It's not real. That's just silliness. You see, there's a couple different camps among people that grow herbs. There's one camp that's in the New Age movement, very very new age. Just look up new age. I'm not going to get into all that on this video. And then there's the other camp that, and I've talked about some of this in one of my earlier videos a few years back, about herbalist and stuff. And then there's the other camp where we like the herbs because the scriptures say that God gave us the herbs for food and for medicine. And yeah, there's an old book I was told about that says that, knowing them had a book from God, basically, that had all the herbs and all the different things that it was good for, that God had given them to fight the stuff that Satan sent out. I don't know if that's true. That's just something I'd heard about. But what I'm really puzzled about, because I keep saying it's not true, but it keeps happening to me in many different instances over the last few years. I keep hearing that if there's a particular herb that you need, or that it will all of a sudden be abundant in your area. And I've heard that from various herbalists. And now I moved up here and I did not bring my self-heal. Before I moved, I think I might have taken a couple heads and put it in 2 or 3 different pots, just sprinkled them real quick, and I was just in the middle of moving and didn't worry about it from there. Well, that was over a year ago and it never came up last year. But this year, I have got self-heal coming up in almost all of my pots. I transplanted and put some in here. I pulled a bunch out of the pots at first, just thinking it was a weed, not realizing it was self-heal. And then, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, here's one pot I pulled a bunch out, and there's still a bunch in here, that I stopped pulling them out because they were getting bigger, and I was looking at them, and I thought, this is not self-heal right here, but down here it is. And I thought, I know that leaf. That's self-heal, and I'd been wanting some because I was just nearly sick. I didn't bring it with me because I just don't have money to go out and buy a lot of stuff anymore. And wow, it's just popping up everywhere. Now, this has this, the mint family have square stems. This has the square stem. This has the lance-shaped leaf, and it's slightly fuzzy on the stem and on the leaf. And if it's growing in your grass and it's being walked on or whatever, it'll stay, or it's always being mowed or something, it stays fairly small. But if it's off to itself, they say it can grow up to 1 foot high. I usually cut them before then. And really, a lot of the medicine is in the flowers, so I need to wait till it flowers, which is really, really hard for me because I want to start applying the self-heal right away. It's Prunella vulgaris is what the Latin name is for it. But it is such a wonderful herb. Now, I have a whole video on a lot of the benefits and stuff of this herb when I was harvesting it when I lived at the other place. But what this video is about is I keep running into this. Now, I pulled it out of a lot of my other pots, but it was just everywhere this spring, just everywhere. Yeah, and there is none growing around here. So I can say, well, it came up with all my other stuff, but I got to thinking about it. I grew stuff in all those pots last year, and it wasn't in those pots last year. This is dill here, and I'm hoping it'll go to seed and make little seeds, because I don't have any dill seed. And I'm finding, I used to didn't like dill very much growing up and through the years, but I'm finding in my old age and eating more herbs and stuff, now I actually like a little dill and my salads or different things. Anyway, I digress. I have ran into this phenomenon with other herbs in the past too, and I keep saying, no, there's an explanation for this, but is there? Maybe it's just something in the atmosphere that God has set forth when you're really seeking and want something. I mean, my heart was really longing something in this field with the plants, because the plants are, they're little living beings that are for us. And you know, you can't just say, well, I want this plant and it pops up. But sometimes if you really are in need of something, and I must be going to be in need of self-heal this year because there's a lot of it popping up, and I threw away a lot of it. And like I told you in that one video, I came over here to pull all this out. I thinking it was just, you know, I had other things I wanted to plant, and I wasn't sure what that was. Um, and something just, I just stopped me and said, you're going to regret it. Do not pull that out. You will regret it. Do not pull that out. And then I got to looking at it, and I thought, I know this plant. And I do. I've used it and handled it and made videos about it. And as it got bigger, the bigger it got, the more recognizable it became. And even as the tiny little sprouts, I thought at first I thought it might be Tulsi, but it wasn't, because Tulsi leaves are a little different. But yeah, I'm just, that's what it is. It's self-heal. And over in between there, you probably can't see it, but I had planted a few Tulsi seeds. See down there? And it looks like that's coming up. So I'll have even more Tulsi now. Tulsi's very, very important plant. All of us have different needs in our bodies, and when it comes to herbs, you'll have to find the herbs that really work well for you. As I told you, one of the first herbs that I started learning about that was just amazing was oregano, and how it healed my knee and everything from the oregano essential oil. But I'm going to be using this in something I'm making. But I've got to get some magnesium sulfate. Not magnesium sulfate. Magnesium chloride flakes. And I can't seem to find any. So I don't know. And then I want to mix some of this with it to make it smell good and make a spray. And I'm sprayed on my tummy. I'm hoping it might help a little bit with my problem. Just about everybody is deficient in magnesium in their body, and it's really hard to absorb the pills when you take them. So, and your Epsom salts is good, and it does help, but the magnesium chloride flakes are supposedly supposed to be easier for your body to absorb through the skin and stuff. One of the easiest and one of the best. I don't know for sure. That's what I've heard from other herbalists and stuff. So I'd like to try that. But anyway, figure out what herbs that are good for you. It takes time growing some, experimenting with them. It's so fun. It's really a lot of fun. I guess it's one of the things that I love about being retired. Is I have more time, but even when I was working, sorry about all the mess, I have to have somewhere to put stuff, so I kind of put a lot of it down here. Anyway, yeah, I have more time, but even when I was working, I was still had a garden and herbs and stuff. I just couldn't spend as much time with it. And like now, look at these lettuce. I showed them in an earlier video when they were little tiny things that I had transplanted, because they were, if you give them more room, see, I put some of those, no, those came up on their own in here. Those are not, see the self-heal coming up in here? But I transplanted these, and the nasturtium, that's a volunteer too, but I think I had some of these maybe planted in here before. But anyway, if you take your lettuce and take them out, now see these I did, they haven't been in here as long. These are red romaine that I transplanted that were real tiny in another pot. This I'm really not sure what it is, but it's a lettuce. And these are really nice. I've already been harvesting. I cut 2 great big ones that were in another pot and took down to my daughter. So, yeah, you have more time to do stuff like that. I need to just harvest all of this lemon balm before the bugs get to it. Go through, clean it up, wash it up, and I hate to dry it because lemon balm really doesn't dry well. You lose so much of the essential oils in it when you dry it. It's better to use fresh. So I guess I should make up a big container of lemon balm water just to be drinking, because I need to be drinking more water anyway. And it really has a refreshing flavor. Lemon balm really doesn't do much for me other than it smells so good. Other people, it seems to really help them in different areas that they need help. But now that may change. I've had other herbs that didn't do much for me, and later, and when I had, in life, they really helped during that time. But so far, I grew some years ago when I was in Kentucky too, and I just love, I love the freshness, the fresh smell, and I like making the lemon balm water, and I would take it to family gatherings or what have you. And I got more self-heal coming up. No, I think I transplanted those 2. That's what I knew. I'd transplanted a couple in one of these, but these came up volunteer in here. Yeah, so give them a try. I'm really puzzled this year. A lot of strange things are happening. This is going to seed. This is spearmint. Does your spearmint go to seed? I can't even remember my spearmint flowering. It loves the cool weather and the partial shade up here, so I may not have had it flower in the valley because it didn't grow fast enough and I had it cut down before it could do much like that. But up here, it really likes it. I am puzzled about my parsley because it has been trying to go to seed, and this is its first year. It shouldn't do that the first year. I've got beet plants that I just went to the nursery and got as little beet plants and planted this year, and they're going to seed. Usually my plants will go, my beets before always didn't go to seed until the following year. Maybe it was just, maybe it was strange then and not now. I don't know. Look at that. There is a ladybug wing in there. Something ate the ladybug. Might have been a little bird. Now, this is wild azalea that I dug from a mountainside. I don't know if you can see it or not. Isn't that pretty? It is just an absolutely beautiful plant. It's small because I only got one strand, but it's actually grown several other strands. There's another little one here, and over here it's growing out beautifully. I haven't researched it, but I don't know of anything medicinal with azaleas right now. But I never really researched it. But I love beauty, and these grow along the mountains, especially Feather River Canyon. And it's so beautiful in May, especially along the Feather River Canyon with all the flowers blooming on the sides of the canyon and everything. And so I just had to get me some. And yeah, so beauty it's not an herb, but it's a medicine in itself. There's just something about beautiful things that seems to be good for the soul. Have you ever noticed how beautiful carrots are when they go to seed? I need some carrot seed. So I'm letting my carrots here go to seed. They didn't grow much I must be low in potassium and all my dirt and everything, because my beets didn't grow beets. I've been using them mainly just for the tops. And my carrots didn't really grow carrots. They're just mainly on the top. So probably they have too much nitrogen and not enough potassium, I would imagine. But I need the carrot seeds, so that's fine. My little tiny cucumber plant has just taken off, so that's good. Anyway, I'm going to close this video, and Hope you give me a thumbs up. Just chatting with you about a puzzling question of do herbs really pop up when you really need them, or you really, I don't know, but it sure seems like it sometimes. Anyway, I'll close for now. I'm signing off as puzzled. We'll catch you next time. Bye.